by myself, cool. Don't need no help. But don't say nothing to me about it unless she trying to help me.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Real talk. That's real talk. That's real talk. Yeah. I agree with you, Bree. I agree with you. You know, and yeah, I always respected Dipset, man, Diplomats. I've been to New York several times, man, and I remember coming out of a hotel I was staying in New York some years ago. Not too long ago, but some years ago. I never forget coming out, man, and I seen all these Mercedes Benzes lined up, and they all had Diplomats in front of them. And I said, man, this how these dudes roll. And I wasn't even up there, you know, looking for no Diplomat type business. But just to see that, I say, yeah, this is how they roll up here in New York, you know what I mean, when it comes to Dipset. And so I've always had respect for all of them. But I agree with you, Bree. To this day, Jim is one of my favorite hip-hop artists out of that crew, you know. And I like Cam, too. I like Jewels, you know, no disrespect to anybody else with Dipset. You know, Freaky Zeke, I see he's a big internet personality now. You know, respect to you, too. But now Jim, he's spitting. Still to this day. So, you know, respect to him. Okay, so that's that. But we'll move on to the next topic. Let's talk a little bit about housing right now and big investors.
Okay.
That's been a huge headline right now in the news. So, Bree, of course, you've been in real estate yourself. What's some of your thoughts on that?
So with housing and the big investments, so what I, as of late, what's been in the news is the administration is trying to stop big corporations from purchasing up properties. And so to that, what I've seen back in shortly after the pandemic, when there was like a lot of people was trying to get homes.
Right.
But you had these large corporations coming in with cash, kind of beating out, you know, the average, average buyer.
Yeah.
So that was a problem. You know what I mean? Because most people, the housing prices are the prices in certain areas.
Right.
And when you're looking at a real estate deal,
yep.
If a cash for a seller, just any seller, if a cash deal come to you and a loan deal come to you, it's understood. You take that cash deal. So if I'm finna give you $250,000 cash, or I'm finna give you $250,000 with a loan, you take that cash because with a loan you still gotta get approval.
Right.
It's a possibility that the loan could fall through depending on if you're not set up correctly.
Right.
So in that situation, that cash at the same price is gonna beat out that loan every time. As an agent, that's what I would tell any one of my sellers.
Yeah.
If a cash deal and it's the same price, we're not gonna play with that loan. We're gonna go with this cash.
Yeah.
So, now the average person, some people have cash like that. Some people would sell a home and downsize. So they would have cash. They have from equity, have a lot of cash to purchase the home cash. So it was not just saying big investors did that,
right?
But with them being able to do that and having that type of cash, it wiped out a lot of people who need, who use a loan.
Right.
And during that time, a lot of homes were sold, but during that time, I remember it was really tough for buyers. The average buyer at that time was putting in maybe 10 to 15 offers. I know myself working with buyers, we see properties, we would drop maybe 15 offers on one property and pray that we don't get beat out by one of these cash buyers.
Yeah.
Now not to say that these people wasn't qualified. These people were very well qualified and could, carry the property, but for the simple fact of just the logic and the other agents. Now, of course, like I say, I'm going to advise my sellers to take that cash deal. So I can't be upset that you do as well. So during that time, even they had programs in place where they had to make it kind of competitive. So it was programs in place where other companies would use their cash to help your offer look like a cash offer and close as a cash offer.
Yeah.
So that you can't even compete. They had to, companies were starting businesses like that to help the average buyer even compete in that type of market.
Yeah.
So then when you look at it, during that time, and how many homes got bought and things like that, the corporations have it on lock. And what that does is, the only thing the corporation is gonna do is rent them. They're gonna rent them.
Yeah.
They're gonna rent them and hold them.
Right.
You know, they're not looking to fix and flip.
No.
Fix and flip is no problem.
Right.
None of it is a fix and flip. Hey, it is what it is.
Yeah.
You buy a
That
property.
ain't great consistent cash flow though.
Correct.
Right.
So with them, they're looking at the long 10-year, 5 years. So they're not trying to let these properties go in 2 years, 3 years. They're looking at the long picture.
Yeah.
Which how you should look at it. However, that doesn't help the average buyer. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
If let's just say you have 1,000 homes and 750 of them is owned by corporations, what is that gonna do to the economy at some point? It doesn't allow the average person to have space to even purchase a home to build equity for themselves.
Right.
And what we do know is owning a home is one of the safest tools to use for a 20-year, 30-year plan, given the equity.
Yeah.
So to that, a lot of that type of power was taken away. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So I did at that time, I didn't know how it was gonna work or what the plan was.
Right.
But seeing it, now we do live in a capitalistic society.
Yeah.
So I
Capitalism
can't
is
say, "Ooh, that business wrong for doing that." Because it's business and it's legal and it's allowed.
Right.
And what we do know is if it's legal, if you ain't doing nothing wrong, and you have the means to do it, why shouldn't you?
Yeah.
Because what I can't say is, if I was a multi-million-dollar company, would I do the same thing? Would I buy a bunch of properties and rent them out? Yes. I'd be lying if I said I wouldn't.
Yeah.
Because it's safe, and and it's a long play.
Yeah.
So I work with investors that do it not on that large of a scale. They may purchase a property every year. So I've been in real estate about 13 years now. So, I have a couple guys that have 10, 15, 20 properties, have apartment complexes, so do they fall under that category?
Yeah.
And are they wrong for doing that? No. So I can't fault them for it.
Right.
Because it is legal. They, it's people that do need to rent, and sometimes I can even say, hey, when you're in position to buy and you choose not to buy, this is why. This is where you open yourself up to letting, this is where the opportunity comes from.
Yeah.
Some people just scared. Some people don't see the benefit in it. So we can't cry about it when you didn't want the property, and now this company came and bought the property. What
Yeah.
it was,
No, I agree on that.
out there for you.
Right.
So,
I agree. Hello, this is G Bass, Rise of the 1%, Rise Media. We on this Saturday evening about to get ready to knock out some podcast episodes with some individuals here in the city of Atlanta making some big moves. You can see here, look, this is how it goes down. Here when our guests come and sit down with myself, G Bass, other Rise of 1% of Rise Media, to have that conversation, to share the story, share the journey, share what you got going on. So listen, everybody got a story, everybody got a journey, and then you got some things going on, then you definitely can get with us and see if it'll be a fit to be on the Rise of 1% podcast and actually have that discussion with myself. It's going to be a link to a form for you to fill out. You said www.theriseofthe1%.com/pod-form. Again, www.theriseofthe1%.com/pod-form. It's going to be in this video. You can fill that out, and we can see if there'll be a fit for you to come on and have that conversation with myself. If you don't fill out the form, then obviously it's not for you, and that's fine. We're looking for those that's serious. Those that's serious about rising to the top 1% are already in the 1%. That's what we're looking to sit down with myself right here. As you can see, Rise Media, Rise of the 1%. This is how we get down. We have a great time and have a lot of fun doing it. So once again, if you're serious, make sure you fill out the form. We'll look over the form, see if it's a fit. If it's a fit, we'll reach out. If not, we won't reach out. We'll just continue to move forward. But with that said, this is G Bass. See you soon. Have a great one on purpose.